Well, Governor Newsom, once one of the oil industry's loudest critics, now has a sweeping energy package on his desk to sign. The bills are designed to stabilize the cost of gas and electricity, and they mark a political win for Newsom, who pushed hard for the deal. One measure opens the door to more in-state oil production as two refineries prepare to shut down. Analysts warn losing those refineries will drive gas prices even higher, and that leads us to the oil industry now bracing for what comes next. And no company is watching closer than Chevron. At its El Segundo refinery, leaders are bracing for tougher rules and preparing for the possibility California forces them out. We take you inside for an exclusive look. You don't do this every day.
We don't do this every day.
Our exclusive tour of the Chevron refinery in El Segundo requires an escort vehicle because the property, not far from LAX, is massive.
Our refinery is really a city within a city.
It spans almost 2 square miles, supplying more than 40% of the jet fuel and more than 20% of motor vehicle fuel across all of Southern California.
We've got really 8 different factories that are all linked together.
My tour guides, Jeff Wilson of Corporate Affairs, Refinery Director Brian Stock, and Andy Walls, President of Chevron's downstream, midstream, and chemicals business.
We're distilling the crude oil. That separates it. It sends it to different places in the refinery.
Walls explains the process of transforming crude oil into one of 3 Chevron products, a process that really starts when a ship like this one, likely from the Middle East, arrives offshore. It comes carrying 1 million barrels of crude oil. That crude oil will be transferred underground to the Chevron refinery, where it will be turned into either jet fuel, gasoline, or diesel, 42 million gallons worth. The multi-step process varies, but can include first heating the oil hundreds of degrees, and eventually the process ends here with this heavy machinery called the coker.
This is really the final processing that we do, where we extract the last amount of usable product we can out of our feedstocks. One of the byproducts is a dry product called coke, similar to a charcoal that you might see for your barbecue.
What happens to that, to the coke on the bottom?
And typically it gets sold as a heating material that's used overseas.
When the refinery was built in 1911, the original capacity was 5,000 barrels a day. Today, it can process 290,000 daily. Then, it was known as the Standard Oil Company, the second, or El Segundo, refinery built in California. In fact, the city was named after it.
We've got 50,000 residents living within a 1.5 square radius of a refinery, and our success is that we think about working to not be seen, heard, or smelled.
Within the 2 square miles, there are 1,000 Chevron employees, 1,000 contractors on any given day, and their very own Chevron fire department.
A total of 24 firefighters on.
And full-time staff 24/7.
Full-time staff 24/7. We're on a rotating 12 schedule.
At the heart of the property is the Refinery Operating Center, also known as The Rock. Wow. The public generally doesn't see this.
These people take years of training to be able to run this. They're looking at what's happening everywhere in the refinery.
Making sure the refinery maintains its ability to make roughly 12 million gallons of fuels every day, enough gasoline to fill up 1 million cars a day. California is home to approximately 1,300 Chevron stations, but Wall says most are privately owned and operated, with owners responsible for setting the price. As for Californians paying about $1.50 more a gallon than the national average, Walls blames state taxes and overregulation. Californians pay almost $1 a gallon in state and cap-and-trade taxes. Walls fears if California's electric vehicle mandate takes effect, Chevron will have no choice but to shutter this refinery, something the Phillips 66 refinery in nearby Wilmington and the Valero refinery in the Bay Area have already decided to do by the end of 2026, which will effectively wipe out 20% of California's fuel supply. What's the straw that would break the camel's back to shut this place down?
I believe the internal combustion ban that's coming in 2035 is a real barrier to our business. That should be abolished and that should go away. People are going to be driving gasoline cars for a long time. We want to make those products, but that is a big headwind to our business. When I look at investing in this refinery, I'm worried that we're not going to be making gasoline. I'm worried that the regulation is going to put us out of business. I don't think we can afford to lose another refinery in the state of California.
Walz urging lawmakers to rethink regulations so Chevron can continue its more than century-long relationship with the Golden State.
I think we're at a critical point where we really need to get serious about changing the way California works, because companies like Chevron have choices.
Well, we do want to note California's electric vehicle mandate is also in limbo after President Trump and Congress canceled the state's emission rules earlier this year. Governor Newsom signed an executive order to keep the zero emission push alive, aiming for all new car sales to go electric by 2035. We will, of course, continue to follow that fight at the state capitol. And a special thank you to Andy, Jeff, and Brian for the exclusive tour behind the scenes there.